What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bootleg Studios of Rant Social. Um, Upon the Locks' victory over Dipset at the Versus battle in Madison Square Garden, of course, like many people out here now, you start going back through people's catalogs, going back through Dipset catalog, Cameron, Jadakiss, Styles, Chic, Jewels. So here I am looking at an old The Come Up DVD of Jadakiss, right? And this is the opening scene of the Come Up DVD, the first edition, the part one of it. And then it's going to lead into a Jadakiss street video. You know, how they used to do back in the day, back in the Smack DVD days, and, you know, almost at the height of these guys moving around doing a lot of big things in the music industry as far as money wise, coming up with independent music labels, publishing deals. These when guys were starting to really do things that was never really done in the music business before, as far as artists taking control over their finances. But anyway, I also want to say, because I want to speak for about 2 minutes before I start playing this video. This scene here reminds me of what I experienced when I came back from Germany at around 9 years old. I was part of a military family. We came back from Germany, back to Brooklyn, and I was living with my grandmother in Brooklyn, in Crown Heights, and I got a culture shock. Yes, I was a so-called quote-unquote young black man or young black kid, right, at 9 years old. But I wasn't a street kid. Yes, I was born uptown in the Bronx, raised in the Bronx. But then shortly after, around, I would say 5 years old, my family went into the military. So from around 5 to age 9, I was a military kid. So you're not in the streets if you're a military kid. So anyway, I come back from Germany to New York to Brooklyn, and this is what I experienced, and this is what I quickly had to learn and adapt to. And I'm going to quickly say, to echo Kwame Brown's message of trades in schools, I also want to put Rant Social's message out of parenting classes in our neighborhoods, all right, and in our schools, even in our high schools. Put them in the high schools, because the reality is a lot of these babies are going to be born to teenagers and young people in their early 20s. So parenting classes should be mandatory even in high school, because this is what happens when you don't have proper parenting. And this is what I experienced when I came back from Germany, living upper working class to middle class lifestyle, coming back to a ghetto lifestyle in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. Even though I lived in a nice building, I lived in a co-op building, shiny. You know, my floors in my building were shiny like glass. We had 2 elevators. It was always clean. There was no graffiti, no pissed up stairways. But I was still dead in the middle of the hood, and all my friends were in the hood. So I had that kind of mixed background to this point, to 9 years old, when I ran into this. Now, if you guys are sensitive to language, turn the volume down or cut this video off now. Or if you have children around, this is not a children's video. I repeat, this is not a children's video. There's going to be some explicit language going on right now.
And I don't know why I got a stick in my hand. Come up and hit that little punk right there. And I don't know why. The stick will call me Bigger Boy. My name is not Bigger Boy.
Boy, I don't know your name like that.
Nigga, you ugly, man. I know you're a monkey, man. Did you not come on the block? No,
Boy, my clothes cost more than yours. Look at your shoes. Look at your shoes. Look like you got them in a dumpster. Come on, stop fronting, Ali.
Yo, look at your stack, man.
It costs more than everything you got. Come on, stop fronting.
You stop fronting.
I'm going to stop right there. You see, already they starting in on their clothes. And this is what I experienced. Nobody cared about clothes where I came from until I came from Germany to New York to Brooklyn. And this is what we call ranking. Some people from an older generation call playing in dozens. Some people call it cutting up. Whatever you want to call it, this is how you develop thick skin coming up in the so-called hood.
Yeah. Look at you need a lineup. Look at you with that fake on your gun.
Let me do mine real quick. Yeah. You dirty, man. And I don't know why your mom made you.
Don't talk about my mom. Don't talk about my mom. I'm glad for my head. Come on, stop fronting, boy.
You ugly, man. I don't know why your mom made you because you ugly. And I don't know why you look like a monkey because you got a scarf on your face. My nigga, I don't never get fucking scarf on my face. You're a little dusty.
Nigga, you shouldn't be talking. You think you're a thug while you just a little kid.
Yo, you dirty me, you nigga, you kidnapping. And I know why you don't know pussy. You got fucked up by a fucking 5th grade. And I don't know why, nigga,
I'm sorry, yo, this is what I experienced when I came back. This is what I had to adapt to. I grew up around kids like this, and kids mouthing off like this, saying anything to you that you could imagine.
dirty nigga.
Nigga, you can't even afford school. Nigga, you can't even afford school. School is free, so stop fronting. Look at you. You need a fresh line up. Look at your ears disconnected. Your whole body disconnected, so stop fronting. You think you're a gangster when you're nothing but a phone. You're just dirty. You're a dusty. Fucking niggas.
So messed up. I just did right. I got money. Bitch, you don't got shit on you right now. I got a little pack of money in my drawer, man.
Yo, you shouldn't be talking.
Fuck you, nigga. You an ugly nigga. You better get on my fucking face or I'll fucking shoot you with a bitch. Bitch, I got a shotgun. And you need to get on my face or I'll shoot you with a shotgun.
Do it. What's really good?
See, he's already talking about shooting with a shotgun. This little boy should be studying science or something, to stimulate his mind. Instead, he's on the block shooting the shit, with another little kid. And this is how it is. Now, I got a buddy that's Italian, grew up in a conservative family, and this type of language he doesn't understand, and it kind of bothers him when he hears it out of rappers. So this is a video to him. I know he's going to watch this too. I wanted to show him the environment I grew up in and why this language is so commonplace in hip-hop and why it's so commonplace in our households. I mean, look how young they are.
You should be talking to junk. You was born in the ghetto, you dying in the ghetto, nigga. Look at you was like a little bum. You wasn't raised with your mama. Your mama couldn't even raise you. She put you in the foster home. Now look at you. You a little thug, but you ain't nothing but a bum.
And now, with the following collection of ghoulish sounds.
And then the Jadakiss video starts.
1, 2, 3, it is the place to be. Time for that Jada.
Look at you. You a little thug.
But anyway, I hope Jadakiss did something for this kid. I hope the whole Rough Riders camp did something for these little boys out there on the street while they was on their way up making their millions of dollars. And I hope that this kid, both of these kids here in this video that's featured before Jadakiss starts rapping, I hope they turned out all right. I don't know how long ago this was. The video says it's about, they posted it 7 years ago. But we in 2021. This could have been 05, 06, who knows how long ago this was. And more than likely, these two kids here are young men right now. I wish them well. I hope they okay. I hope the shorter kid here is not in a cell block nowhere. And the taller kid here, I hope they're not in prison nowhere, that they actually turned out all right, even if they just got a job doing whatever. You know what I mean? Being a security guard or doing whatever they got to do to feed their family. I hope they turned out all right. And this has been a video. I'm not making fun of these kids here. I'm highlighting this is how I grew up in Brooklyn. And then in the Bronx. This is the language. This is how the vibe is. This is how you have to develop a thick skin and learn how to defend yourself, not just physically, but verbally and intellectually and even spiritually, or you will get crushed. You didn't hear what he told. He said, your mother put you in a foster home. That's why you're a dirty little bum. This is now these insults that they're hurling back and forth at each other. If they were grown, they would pull out guns and probably start shooting at each other or looking to fight. But being that they kids, they just shook it off. But look how deep the insults that get hurled at children in the ghetto at such a young age. And you have to be able to suck that up and still think somewhat highly of yourself to function. All right? Once again, the message is parents in classes, and I needed them too. I raised my three children, but there's many things that I would have done differently, many things I could have done better. I thought I did a good job, but I could have always done better. Parents in classes is needed because we don't have elders to depend on anymore. The elders are not respected, and the elders are not interested in dealing with these wild ass offspring. So we need parents in classes and mental health classes and mental health, not courses, but evaluations and then treatment. All right, this has been Rand Social. I hope you guys are all well out there. Until next time, please like, share, and subscribe.